For starting your day with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. Just want to share with you some of the top stories that we are following, beginning with this situation that we continue to follow out of Brookhaven. We have actually learned of an officer-involved shooting that took place in Brookhaven early this morning after a police chase, according to officials. It happened just before 4 a.m., just along Buford Highway at North Druid Hills Road. This is some video that our crew on the ground captured from the scene. Police say that 4 people were inside of a stolen car, and that car, the individuals inside led police on a chase, according to officials. We're told that the pursuit actually did not last a very long time. And then the car ultimately stopped and it caught fire almost immediately. Officers say there were 4 people inside of that car at the time. They hopped out and ran, according to officers. No injuries reported here, but as you can see, quite a scene. 3 of the 4 people in that vehicle were ultimately arrested and charged with theft by receiving, aggravated assault, and obstruction. The search is still ongoing for that last person, the 4th person involved in this. Investigators say there's no threat to the public as the investigation continues, but what a scene here, that police chase leading to an officer-involved shooting and a car fire as well in Brookhaven. Still a lot of unanswered questions, but again, 3 of the 4 people involved arrested and charged, and the search is still on for the 4th individual. So a lot that we're going to have to continue to follow up on, which of course, you can count on us to do. Also, we want to turn to the latest out of Israel, and we continue to follow all the new developments there. But I want to just let you know that Governor Kemp is meeting with an Israeli delegation, people whose lives have really been turned upside down since the October 7th attack by Hamas on southern Israel. So devastating, not only abroad, but right here in our community for so many. My colleague, Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm, has more.
You're right, Brooks. We're talking about people whose Israeli loved ones were killed or are being held hostage by Hamas. They will meet today with the governor and first lady in the governor's office at the state capitol today. The families are already getting support from several state lawmakers. They met with them yesterday at the state capitol, some of them holding signs that read "Bring them home" as a way to show their support. Several community members also attended an event last night at a synagogue in Northwest Atlanta. We spoke with a woman who says her sister-in-law is among those kidnapped by Hamas and being held hostage. Just yesterday, she saw a video that confirmed her sister-in-law is still alive, but looks frail.
When I saw her face, she was, I don't know if she ate anything in the past 3 weeks because she was so skinny. I've never seen her that thin. I'm really concerned for her safety. I know she takes medication on a daily basis.
The governor is urging the U.S. to stand strong with Israel, calling that country one of our nation's most important allies. His meeting with the Israeli delegation is scheduled for noon today. We will have updates for you throughout the afternoon and evening. At the state capitol, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Okay, I want to let you know about this developing story that we continue to follow. A man from Alabama is behind bars now. He is charged with making threats in the Fulton County investigation into former President Donald Trump. Federal investigators say Arthur Ray Hansen II threatened to physically harm Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Sheriff Pat Labatt. This suspect will be charged, will be formally arraigned, I should say, in Atlanta on November 13th. Again, this is a man from Alabama who is named Arthur Ray Hansen II, charged with making threats in the Fulton County investigation into the former president, making these alleged threats to physically harm both DA Fani Willis as well as Sheriff Pat Labatt. This is a story we're going to continue to follow as well. Okay, We've been warning you about the first alert, and we are expecting a freeze overnight and these big temperature drops on Halloween. But what happens often when the temperatures drop, people turn on the space heaters and look for other sources of heat, and officials say that leads to increased risks of fire hazards. My colleague Bridget Spencer has more.
Well, the cold weather did creep up on us this Halloween, but make sure you are prepared to deal with it in a safe manner. According to FEMA, house fires happen more in the colder months than any other time of the year. This is usually caused by heating equipment like those space heaters. Be sure to turn those off when you do leave the house, and also keep them away from anything that is flammable. Now, to save lives, the Red Cross, they've started an initiative called Sound the Alarm. They've been on a roll with a goal to install more than 1,000 smoke alarms for free throughout Georgia. We caught up with some volunteers and firefighters at an installation event in Union City. They say the complex they were at was high risk due to some previous fires there.
I feel safer because I don't know when a fire might come.
We identified 161 residents that need smoke alarms. So that's why we're here today. My goal was to save one life. We've saved 240 here in Georgia so far, 1,982 across the country. One life loss is too many.
As you can see, it is chilly outside, but it is also windy. You might be tempted to turn on that space heater, but make sure you're just heating your home safely at the end of the day. If you wish to get a free smoke alarm, you can contact the Red Cross directly. In Atlanta, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
All right, let's turn now to a look at the forecast. Here we are with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Sorry for the delay. We got distracted by some of the Halloween costumes in the newsroom.
Yes. So many of our coworkers are in costume, and it is just fantastic. I really wish I would have gotten the memo. I would have totally worn my costume to work today. All right, everybody. In case anyone was wondering, I'm sure many of you are not, but my husband is going to be like essentially an astronaut, and I'm going to be a star because I am the light of his life. And that is all. Anyway, just kidding. Let's talk about the forecast, shall we? We do, on a serious note, have first alerts for the next several days because of the cold. And this is going to be the coldest air we've seen all season. Very, very well below average temperatures on the way. And we do have some freeze warnings now in effect for tonight, and then a freeze watch for Thursday, so a couple of nights of freezing temperatures. That freeze watch will more than likely turn into a warning tomorrow, as again, we have a couple of freezing nights ahead of us. So let's talk about it. Of course, you probably want to know what the forecast look like for trick-or-treating as well. We got all that for you. So what's going on right now is we have a cold front moving through the area, and you probably noticed yesterday the wind really started to pick up. Well, that was a sign that this front was on the way, and it is currently pushing through. It's just south of the metro right now, and it will continue to push through the entire state through the afternoon and evening. It'll bring the chance for a few showers, mainly south of the city from places like LaGrange to Eatonton, maybe Athens as we head through the early afternoon. But I don't think that's going to hinder any kind of trick-or-treating plans. But behind this front, it is going to continue to be breezy. The wind is going to continue to pick up, and it is going to be very cold. In fact, we're going to have about a 20-degree drop in temperatures from yesterday just to this afternoon. So our average high for this time of year is 70. Yesterday we hit 85. It felt like spring yesterday. Hope you enjoyed that. Today temperatures only topping out in the upper 50s to low 60s. So again, yesterday's high was in the 80s. Today's high only in the 60s as that cold air is going to continue to spill in. We call it cold air advection. So even as we start to see more sunshine through the afternoon, that's really not going to help warm us up too much because that cold air is going to be taking over behind that front that moved in earlier this morning. So that is a first alert because of that just drastic change in temperatures. It's obviously going to alter how you dress, especially as you head trick-or-treating later tonight. Here's a look at those wind gusts. So again, low 60s today, wind gusts anywhere between 20 to 25 miles per hour, maybe some isolated gusts higher, especially if you're in the higher elevations of the mountains. The higher up you go, you have less friction, obviously with the ground, so that can create some higher wind gusts. So definitely going to be a blustery afternoon and evening. Look at 5, 6, 7 o'clock as a lot of you will be kind of getting ready and gearing up to head out for trick-or-treating. It's going to be quite windy out there, and that's going to create a little bit of a wind chill, especially after the sun sets very early tonight. Just something to keep in mind. If you're heading out around 6, 7 o'clock, expect a wind chill. Those 50s are going to feel more like the 40s as we head towards 7. So here's a look at your Halloween forecast. By noon, maybe some of the kids at school are, going to be having their little parades through the school, and they're going to be wandering around in their costumes. Mid 50s, so it's going to be chilly. Hopefully you sent them to school with a jacket because it was cold this morning. It's still going to stay cold at noon in the 50s. By 3 o'clock, you're picking up the kids from school. They're all jazzed up, getting ready for trick-or-treating in the next couple of hours. Temperatures will be near 60. And then again, by 7 o'clock, temperatures in the low 50s, and it will be quite breezy, so it's going to feel more than likely like the 40s as you are out and about collecting candy later this evening. So you're definitely going to need the jackets, maybe something a little thicker underneath if they have any. Ella made a really good point earlier. If your kids play sports and they have that kind of Under Armour material, that'll probably be really good to put under their costume. But long sleeves, a jacket, anything like that, definitely necessary for trick-or-treating tonight. So here's a look at our overnight lows. This is the reason for the freeze warning, because you can see temperatures are going to be below freezing in a lot of spots. In fact, mid-20s possible for some of our more mountainous counties like LJ and Clayton, or cities in our more mountainous counties like LJ and Clayton. Rome at 29, Canton at 29. If you live anywhere in or around the perimeter, you're going to be near 30 degrees. So it's going to be a very cold overnight. Now the wind will start to die down tonight, but more than likely we are going to have a sort of wind chill tomorrow because the wind isn't going to be calm tomorrow morning. So it's going to feel more like the low to mid 20s in a lot of spots tomorrow. Just something to keep in mind. Here's a look at that freeze warning. So pretty much encompasses all of metro Atlanta, points northward, but LaGrange, and so parts of Heard, Harrelson, also parts of Lamar County, Butts County included in this. So overall, a lot of North Georgia included in this freeze warning, and that goes until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's highs are generally going to climb into the low 50s, not the 70s in Atlanta. We'll be in the 50s. Here's a look at that. So here we go. Wednesday, tomorrow mid-50s. Thursday will be in the upper 50s, so a gradual warming trend. We'll go back above average. Our normal high is around 70 this time of year. We'll actually head into the 70s by the weekend, so the weekend will be really beautiful. We just have a couple of very cold days to get through. Again, we are going to be in the 30s in the morning Wednesday and Thursday with highs only in the 50s. So those are first alerts because of that morning freeze. We have that freeze warning for just about all of the metro, and that does include places south of the metro like, again, Heard County, Troup County, Butts County. You are included in that freeze warning for the morning from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. What does that mean? You need to make sure that you maybe drip your pipes tonight because, again, your pipes haven't dealt with this kind of cold in a long time, so you might want to just lightly drip your pipes. You want to bring in any kind of sensitive plants, and you also want to be sure that you're taking care of your pets, okay? So maybe leaving the heat on for them, bringing them inside if they're outside, or having some sort of heat source for them if they live outside. That's really important. Now, again, we do have the chance for maybe a light shower. That's at 20% coverage of rain, but that is really pushing it. 20% at best. A few light showers from LaGrange to Eatonton to Athens. That's where we're really going to be looking for maybe a couple of light showers. Clouds will start to decrease through the day. Very bitterly cold tomorrow morning. 30s, 20s if you're north of the city. A lot of places outside the perimeter will be in the 20s tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again Thursday with highs only in the 50s. Do keep in mind it's going to feel colder tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, kids are heading to the bus stop. That is coat-worthy weather, hat-worthy, glove-worthy, all of the above. It is going to feel more like winter tomorrow morning. And then as we head into the end of the week, it's going to be beautiful, cold start, but the afternoon will warm really nicely. Temperatures will top out in the mid-60s. Something to note, daylight saving ends this weekend, so your clocks will turn back an hour. We'll get that extra hour of sleep as we go into the weekend. So Sunday morning, again, you'll wake up, clocks will be back an hour, so you'll get that extra hour of sleep, but a beautiful, mild weekend with temperatures in the low 70s. And then it looks like Monday we'll actually have another weather system move in that could give us a promising chance for some rain Monday, Tuesday. That would be wonderful because we could definitely use the rain. So something we will continue to track for you and fine-tune, but right now we'll keep a small chance for rain on Monday. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. We always appreciate it. I hope you have a safe and wonderful Halloween as you are out and about trick-or-treating with the kids, or maybe just simply handing out candy around your neighborhood. But be sure to bundle up. It's going to be a chilly one. Make it a great day and stay warm.